Blackbeard is one of the most mysterious and interesting characters in One Piece. Many theories were made about him. Today I want to bring up my theories and thoughts on the big stage of the One Piece community, and I hope you will enjoy and like it. The first time we met Blackbeard was in the Jaya arc in a bar, where almost Luffy and Blackbeard started a bar fight, but Blackbeard leaves before it can happen. Luffy gets his bar fight later, where he acts like a one-armed red-haired with a scar on his eye pirate and get his ass beaten, but let's forget about that. This fight is not important for this theory here. After that, we met Blackbeard again and listened to his legendary speech about dreams. But something is strange. Luffy listened to Blackbeard carefully and watched him. It is like Luffy saw Blackbeard as a threat and a danger for him and his friends. I mean, Luffy doesn't want to turn his back against Blackbeard, and he is waiting until Blackbeard leaves. Even after that, Luffy seems prepared for a surprise attack. Another strange thing is, what comes after is, Blackbeard said that the drinks taste good today, but in the bar he said that the drinks are disgusting. Why is a change of mind here? Did he lie to Luffy to provoke him into a fight? But that would make no sense. Let me explain. Blackbeard was after a big target, yes, but he looked for someone with a bounty of 100 million or more. Luffy had that bounty, but he get to know that later. His information was that Luffy has a bounty of 30 million berries, so much lower than that what he's seeking for. Like Blackbeard said, if you are after a big goal, there will be fights not worth fighting, so he had absolutely no interest of fighting Luffy back then. So what else could happen to Blackbeard? And here comes my theory in. I think that the devil fruit is the reason for his change. You see, before Gear 5 was revealed, we saw how the 5 elders talk about the fruit from Luffy. They say that the Zoan type devil fruit has a will on its own. And here's the interesting thing. What exactly Blackbeard said when he was fighting Ace? The fruit from Blackbeard shows him, so the fruit has a will. So it could mean that the Yami Yami no Mi named and categorized wrong. It should be a Zoan type devil fruit and start with Hito Ito no Mi, like that from Luffy. We can also take from that even Vegapunk and the 5 elders don't know that. But is the will of the devil fruit enough to change the personality of someone? And yeah, it could be. In a fight against Kaido, Luffy went Gear 5, and he immediately know how to use it. It is weird because for all other gear forms, he has to train, and look what he's able to do with it. How far he can go, and what the catches are. But with Gear 5, he fight as it is a form that he trained for and know his whole life. His fighting style changed so much that even Kaido asked Luffy at one point in their fight who he is. Also, we see Luffy doing some kind of spinning attack against Luffy on Egghead Island, and he did the same attack against Kaido. But the difference here is that Luffy controlled the attack against Kaido, but get out of control against Luffy. So maybe here takes the devil fruit over. He helped Luffy in a dangerous situation and fight for him against Kaido. Okay, against Luffy, that will not happen because he destroyed Luffy and Luffy was not so much of a problem. So it could mean that the fruit took over Blackbeard, because the fruit maybe saw Luffy as a threat. Maybe Luffy reminded Blackbeard of someone, and the fruit is the one who likes the drinks. Yeah, sounds pretty weird when I say it. So it should be clear that Blackbeard have a Zoan type devil fruit, and maybe we will see his full potential against someone who is pretty strong. Maybe Garp will be this one. Let's come to another thing. Let's come to the latest chapter of One Piece 1072, where we get revealed that the CP0 agent Stussy is a clone of a former Rocks pirate. Because that opens a new level of theories about Blackbeard's strange body. Like Marco said it at the Marineford arc, and why he is not sleeping. There were some other possibilities for theories. Maybe Blackbeard belongs to a special race, or Blackbeard was gene manipulated Sanji and the siblings, and now we have cloning, and can use that. So let's come to another theory time. We know that the Seraphims are clones from the Warlords with the addition of the Lunarian DNA, or maybe more. We don't know that. Stussy is the first successful clone from the Mets, and her clone is from Miss Buchan, or better, Buckingham Stussy, the mother of Edward Weevil. The question now is, did they use other DNA from different races or persons for Stussy's clone or other clone? One thing what I also want to bring up is, it could be that Miss Buchan get Edward Weevil as an exchange for his services at Mets. Some parts from Weevil, like his beard or his hair, look very like that from Whitebeard or Shiki. Weevil is maybe a clone from their genetic material. And here, Blackbeard is a clone of Rox in combination with other DNA. Because it would not be smart to clone someone like Rox and let the clone look like him. The Mets will get problems with the world government. This is why Blackbeard's body structure is different. And this could also be the reason why Blackbeard has 3 skulls on his Jolly Roger. He was cloned from the DNA of 3 different persons, and one of those is Rox. And that's why he calls one of his ships the Saber of the Back. But one question also came up. When was all of this? When was the first clone created? You see, we don't know the age of Stussy, the first perfect clone, but the ages of Weevil, who is 35, and Blackbeard, who is 40. If we go from the God Valley incident, that was 38 years ago where the Rox pirates were defeated and Rox died, so Blackbeard was 2 years old and Weevil was born 3 years after that. Vegapunk is now 65 years old, so he was 27 when the incident happened and 25 when Blackbeard was born. So Vegapunk or some other scientist started cloning before God Valley and had a connection to the Rox. And Stussy must be older than Blackbeard and Weevil. Maybe Rox Dieselback had met with a scientist and made a plan B. If he fails, that he has someone who will back his plan up. And this is why Blackbeard was created with so high expectations. And this is why we see him cry in his childhood picture. He flee, get on Whitebeard's ship. We see the Mets creating weapons. And Blackbeard was the prototype for the perfect soldier. He doesn't sleep and can take more than one devil fruit. He learned who Rox Dieselback is through his creators, and because of those, he had access to the book of the devil fruits. He made Rox Dieselback's will his own and made his plan just like him for world domination.